Hi guys,
Hey guys,
welcome back to the Girly Hour.
where we solve the world's problems from our couch.
And today we're going to be solving self-esteem.
Woohoo! And do you have self-esteem, Emma?
I like to think that I have decent self-esteem.
Mhm.
What about you?
When you brought up this topic, I was like, I got this. I have great self-esteem. Let's do it.
Okay.
So we'll see
yeah,
by the end of this episode if I still feel that way, but
we definitely
I think I have good self-esteem.
Yeah. I would say okay, let's rate ourselves 1 to 10.
Okay,
Okay, you go first.
great. I would give myself, I think, a strong 8.
Okay.
And this is being based off of like, I'm judging it from how I was maybe as a teenager and in my 20s and where I'm at now. I would say I'm at an 8.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say a 7 is what my
Okay.
initial
Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we get into this any further,
Okay.
guys, we want you thinking about where your self-esteem is at.
Mhm.
Okay, give it a number or don't, whatever you want to do. But also go onto our social medias.
Yes, please.
Instagram, TikTok. You can find us on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Go follow, like, share, rate us. Do all the things.
Yeah.
What's going on with you this week? What's new?
Oh my gosh.
Let's update.
You are putting me on the spot.
I
don't
know.
have anything prepared.
Well, I got my nails done today.
Got new nails.
New nails. They're not blur. they're pink. Guys, I got 2 coats of Funny Buddy and 1 of Bubble Bath.
Beautiful.
Gorgeous. Back to basics.
Back to just the classic. You know
Classic.
you're going to like it.
It's summertime.
Mhm.
Summertime vibes.
Love it.
Yeah.
And with a tan,
Oh.
those will really pop.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
But practice safe sunscreen. Sun care? Sunscreen?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Sunscreen always.
Yes.
Although today I went for a hike and I did not want to go through the motions of putting on sunscreen, so I just wore a long shirt.
That's perfect too.
Yeah.
How long did you go?
Cool story, Shan. This is what happens when I don't prepare anything to talk about. I put a long shirt on today.
I put underwears on.
Steph and I went for a walk with her dog. It was just like in a park.
Beautiful.
So nothing too crazy. I know how I said I went for a hike. That just made it sound way cooler than what it was. We went for a walk.
Good enough. It was a beautiful. What, it was like 20 degrees out?
Yeah.
Yeah, gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Guys, I'm so excited for summer.
Oh, yes.
The sun is shining
Please.
and it makes me want to clean out my car. And by that, I mean hit the in and out and have them clean it out for me.
Right.
And put the windows down.
Yeah. I really want to get, you know, those like, how do you say it? A Papasan chair?
Never heard of this.
Okay, no, you know them.
John chair.
Papa John, the pizza chair. You know, like those like round, like half circle chairs, and they got the old cushion in it, and then they're on like a stand, and you can move it if it.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh, we saw one of those in HomeSense.
Yes, and I said I wanted it.
Yeah, never
Yes.
knew it was called a what?
I think it's
A
Papasan.
Papasan.
Papa John. But I want a double wide one so I can
Yeah.
like lay in it, or like if someone like wants to hang out with me, we can sit in it. It might be weird, but
Me? I'll try.
well, of course,
We'll double up.
the only person that comes over here. So
Life partner.
yeah. So yeah, that's like my goal for my balcony. I want one of those.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get a planter so I can plant basil and dill.
That'd be nice.
Yes, but something with storage on the bottom. So listeners, if you're listening, which you obviously are, you have any suggestions for something that has both of those, let me know.
So like a shallow planter, because you're just doing, like you're not doing it like full vegetables. You can just go shallow.
Yeah.
And then storage underneath. I like it.
Yeah.
We saw some things at HomeSense, but they just weren't it.
Yeah, they weren't it.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
the search continues.
Mm-hmm.
So should we just get right into it?
I think so, because
Okay.
I have nothing.
Okay.
Do you have something?
I also went to the naturopath today, guys.
Oh, did you want to share? I didn't.
It was so amazing.
I meant to ask you that off mic, but yeah, tell me
That's
about
okay. I'll tell everyone at the same time.
Great.
So I've been having a lot of female issues.
Let's get right into it.
So just with my period and like hormones and stuff.
Mhm.
And I feel like doctors don't listen, as
No.
we all know. because women's health, nobody cares about it. So I went to a naturopath and I met with her today. She was absolutely phenomenal. I felt heard. I felt listened to.
Ah.
I'm going to go for some blood tests and she's going to test me for things for like PCOS and
Perfect.
stuff for, oh my gosh, I have to stop eating cottage cheese if I want, like, to help with my hormones.
Thank God.
Guys, I eat so much cottage cheese. I had a bowl of it before I came over here.
Why? You just went to your naturopath and told you not
Yep,
to.
well, because I'm going to finish
you have
what's
to
in my
finish
fridge.
it.
I'm not wasting.
Fair.
Waste not. We're just in this economy, no. But anyway, yeah, so I'm really excited. She did like this body scan thing on me. And
Like a physical one, or did she just wave her hands over you?
Like, you know, woo. You know the scales that show you like your body composition?
Oh, yeah.
They do it like that, but they have like little thingies
Wands?
that they stick on you and the current goes through you that way. Anyway, so she like gets the readout and she's like, oh, I can tell you really take care of yourself. Oh my God.
Girl.
Compliment of the year. Self-esteem who? I have it all now.
That's why this is our topic.
Exactly.
You're like, oh, let me tell you.
And she said that and I was like, oh, like that's great because you know we're all girlies sometimes and sometimes we feel bad about ourselves.
Yeah.
And I have like 55 pounds of muscle on my body, which she said is like a lot. And I was like, I sure hope so because I try to lift and be strong. So
sick.
Here's to trying to get to 60 pounds.
Okay.
Yeah.
Jacked.
Anyway.
That's very cool.
Isn't that cool? So I'm excited. I'm going to do some blood tests and just hopefully get my hormones and like my period back on track because it's wild.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay, though.
So TMI for everybody who's listening, but we all, you know what? I think some of you can relate.
Yeah.
And if you're a man listening, then you can probably relate with your girlfriend or your sister or whatever. You've heard it all before.
You can mansplain it to them after listening to this.
Exactly. I might have to do that.
But yeah, I think if you're struggling with your doctor, a naturopath is like a really good step in the right direction because they can also send you for tests and stuff like that. So,
and I'll say I think there's a certain thought about naturopaths, how they're kind of like witchy woo, like here's some oregano and
it's a
herbs.
win for me, but yeah.
Right. But I'm not typically that type of person. And guys, it's not like that.
No.
Like it is very doctory, but like they listen to you.
Right.
And it's not just like, it's not like doctors are taught this is the ailment, this is how to fix it with medication, which is great. But some things are not always about that, right? Because there are a lot of like lifestyle things that can impact your hormones.
Totally.
And stuff like that. It's not all just here, go on birth control and we won't address the problem. We'll just put a Band-Aid on it.
Yeah.
So,
and I think a lot of doctors, and I don't want to speak for all of them, but in my experience, like they just assume things, like you're trying to explain things to them and they're like, no, it's just this. Like, here, do tests just for this.
Yes.
Whereas a naturopath, like I remember when I went to mine, the list of blood work was insane. And she's like, because like my blood work for my doctor, she was like, well, did you get this, this, and this? And I was like, no. And she was like, well, then we can't rule this out. And I'm like, I love this.
Yes.
Like it feels like a full investigation.
They're so holistic. Like they wrap their arms around your whole situation. Yeah. Do you know what I mean? It's like a big hug.
Oh my God,
of like
so cute.
Of like wanting to know what's going on.
Yeah.
Anyway, go see a new
naturopath.
A naturopath, guys.
I'm
so happy with even just my first appointment. So
good.
Anyway.
Yay.
So on to my big compliment.
Self-esteem booster.
I clearly take care of myself.
Yes. Wait, did she have like a body age for you? Like, you know how
no,
you do them?
she didn't. Okay. But I mean, clearly by her tone of voice, like
you're like in your early 20s.
Obviously.
Yeah, obviously.
Yeah.
Love that.
But the muscles of somebody who's been training for forever.
Right.
Obviously. Right. The strongest woman alive. Over here. Anyway. So, let's get into it. Okay, I guess I'll go first or you go first?
You go first.
Okay. So I think we kind of split this up into a couple different things. Like what is self-esteem? How
like how do you measure it? Or
how do you measure it?
Yeah.
What are factors that affect it? And how can you like build it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a beautiful breakdown.
Great.
Okay. So what is self-esteem?
Why don't you start on that, Shannon?
Wow.
Okay,
that's
tossing the ball
so
back.
rude. because I like there's self like would you say self-esteem and self-worth are like one and the same?
I would say all like self-confidence, self-esteem, and self-worth are all kind of in the same house.
Okay. I don't think that way.
You don't think that way? I think they're
I
all
definitely led you there. I was like, oh, you think these are the same? No.
Ah,
Because I think I have pretty good self-esteem.
mhm.
My self-worth, not so great.
So what is different about those?
So I think, okay, self-esteem to me is like, do you think that you are, you know, a like good person? Do you think that you're good at what you do? Do you think that you are like maybe physically like fit or whatever, that like however you want to see that? Whereas self-worth, sometimes for me, if I feel like I'm a good person, that I'm doing a good job, that I'm like taking care of myself and like that kind of thing, I still sometimes will get into a relationship with someone who treats me shitty.
Mhm.
Maybe stop doing things that are good for myself and like kind of like self-sabotage a little bit. Um and with sabotaging is like you're ruining your chances at even being better at like the self-esteem things I listed. So
Mhm.
I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but I I regard myself, like I hold myself to a high standard and I think that I'm like good in all these different ways, but then sometimes I'm like, wow, I'm really like putting myself in shitty situations or like putting up with shitty things that like a person who is held to this regard wouldn't put up with. You know what I mean?
Right.
Did any of that make sense?
So what's your self-worth as opposed to your
Whew,
self-esteem?
whew. So what I said 8 for self-esteem. My self-worth right now, I would say flutters around like a 6, 7. It
Oh,
has been like in the dumps.
okay.
I don't like, remember like my worst ex?
Yeah,
What was that all about?
right.
So I'm like, I think I'm really great. And I'm like, there's no way he's cheating on me or doing these things. Like, it
Yeah,
has nothing to do with me because I'm so great.
right. So that'll be high self-esteem
High self esteem, but I was just letting him treat me
walk all over
terribly.
you.
Yes.
Gotcha.
And I stayed in that.
Right.
So I think that for me, that's why I think they're like separate.
I see.
Yeah.
I would think my opinion is that self-worth, self-esteem, self-confidence, it's all in the same wheelhouse
Right.
because if I have a high self-worth, so I think I'm like worthy of these things, I will put myself in these situations.
Right.
Or if I don't think I am, then I won't. And I consider self-sabotage a thing like I'll just use myself for example. I tend to self-sabotage with food.
Mm-hmm.
So
Cottage cheese.
so when I am like in a good spot, sometimes I will go haywire,
Right.
right? With food and I have no chill. I have no
Right.
stop button. And it's like the self-sabotage of like, ooh, I'm doing great. Let's mess it all up.
Right.
Right. And so
So when
then
you were
I'm
like
like,
losing weight and you were gaining muscle, you're 55 pounds of muscle.
yeah.
Just wanted to note that again. So when you were like at your peak, you were like, now I'm just gonna eat 2 tubs of ice cream.
Right. Because I'm like,
How
do I
dare I?
deserve to feel good, look good, enjoy how I look? And I think that relates to low self-esteem.
Right.
Low self like I'm not worthy of this, but also my self-esteem is like I don't know, like I don't feel good.
Interesting.
That's how I see it.
This is so granular and so this is gonna be tricky to talk about
Yeah.
because you were doing the things that would increase your self-esteem.
Right.
But then the self-sabotage came in and the self-worth,
Yeah.
which you said is all in the
Which I
same
think is all
wheelhouse.
and I think because these things like self-esteem and self-worth, they are like deeper than just like, oh, I'm looking in the mirror and I think I physically look good.
Right.
Right? It's
Yeah.
like and someone explained to me just on the topic of self-sabotage, someone explained to me once, I don't remember who or when or whatever. Maybe it was a TikTok, who knows?
I was waiting for that.
But
I read an article. It was a TikTok.
Yeah. But self-sabotage can be like a little bit of fear or whatever of you being like, I don't know who I am as this person.
Mm-hmm.
And so like you're scared to like allow yourself to be that person. So like if I wanted to like again like lose, let's say like 20 pounds and like be this different looking person, I'm just using this as an example. I don't know who to be as that person.
Right. Like,
who
how
am
dare
I?
you be that person?
Exactly. Who am I?
You don't deserve
in
it.
this body. Or like if you were to do an overhaul of your, I don't know, whatever, something in your mental health, like who am I as this person?
If not those symptoms.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
So that's our thoughts on how self-esteem and self-worth and self-confidence kind of all interact with each other.
Yeah. I think confidence and self-esteem they're pretty much the same.
They're pretty much the same. Okay. So you did it to me. Would you rate your self-worth different from your self-esteem? You gave yourself what, a 7?
Yeah. Yeah. I think I would rate them the same.
Okay, great.
Because I feel like they are so intertwined.
Okay.
I feel like there's nobody's perfect. I feel like I'm certainly not. And I definitely have bad things about me.
Right.
I
can't name any, but okay.
But like, I don't know, like I feel like there's bad things about everybody.
Okay.
And
things, not bad things, just like things that need to be worked on.
Yeah. I'm not terrible. I hope.
You didn't like murder someone. And
No, I
me.
didn't.
Okay,
I didn't.
perfect. Okay, so not
But
bad.
even if I did, I probably wouldn't say it on a podcast. Or maybe I would.
Oh my God.
But I probably wouldn't. You'll never know. I'm kidding.
This is now a true crime podcast.
Yeah, exactly.
Buckle in.
Okay, so let's get into things that can affect your self-esteem. So let's start with societal standards.
Yep.
Because that's a big umbrella.
It's big.
Yeah.
It affects women and men, I think. Like we all have like
100%
specific societal pressures.
Yeah. So I asked Google things that affect especially women's self-esteem. I know it can go both ways. Men have issues of their own as well. But beauty standards, obviously. Societal expectations, which this could be from like women have so many expectations, I would say. So this is just from me, not from Google, but like the pressure to get married, have children, pressures to like
be a good mother but also a freak in the sheets,
exactly, do everything at home but still have time for your partner
and a full-time job,
exactly, to do it all, to volunteer at your kid's school, to everything. Media portrayals, all these things are part of societal standards. So I think beauty standards is like a big one.
I'm so sad that we're going back to like the early 90s, or sorry, the late 90s, early 2000s, like Ozempic body.
Yes.
Like, why are we going back there? We did so much on body positivity.
I even have a bone to pick with body positivity, though.
Like toxic body positivity?
Yes. Because I feel like in society, we can't just have like a happy medium. We're always one end of the spectrum. We're either twiggy or we're like, I don't know.
Yeah.
We're like, not that Marilyn is like the other end, but she was like a curvy, like, whatever.
Crazy to call her curvy.
Right.
Yes,
she's
at the time.
so tiny, but
No, I know what you mean.
But at the time.
Yeah, like I follow a couple of like more like body positivity type people on Instagram. And like the one I'm thinking of, she was very much like, she has like a lot of like health issues, so she fluctuates like in her weight, just given like the struggles that she has and the stress that it causes on her body, blah blah blah. But she obviously was at a good point with her health and like started to slim down. And the comments were wild. Like people like put you in a box and you're not allowed to leave. Like they're like, oh, like you're skinny now, like what are you trying to say? Like, do you not like being fat? Like, do you not like it was just like, she's like, I never said that I was going to stay this way, and it's healthy both ways. Like, she didn't like go super skinny or anything. She just was working out more and was able to lose some pounds, and people lost their minds. And it's like, okay.
I hate that.
I mean, I wouldn't want to go back to America's Top Model where she was like, you're fat, to like someone who was skin and bones.
That's also horrible.
Yeah, but it's kind of the same.
Yeah, just on like the opposite end.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the beauty standards have really, I don't know, it affects women so much because we,
Yeah.
especially with social media and things, we consume so much
Mm-hmm.
about our bodies and how we should look. And
Mm-hmm.
don't get me wrong, like I'm a Botox girly. I love, like, I like to feel good, and I don't know, I do
Yeah.
things that do make me feel and look good. But
Mm-hmm.
then I still look at people online or like celebrities, and like I'm like, "Ugh, why can't I just be like 5 inches taller? And like, why do I have tree trunks for legs?
Right.
You know?"
Yeah. No.
And it messes with my self-esteem because then I go to put clothes on. I'm like, why does it look this way on me and not another way?
Yeah.
And it's hard.
It is really hard. And I think it's happening to like younger and younger girls,
It's so sad.
which like with social media, like we were so lucky to not have social media.
Yes.
Like all I had to compare myself to was my friends who looked like me, and magazines and maybe like music videos because we watched much music.
Yeah.
But like that was kind of it. And like movies, obviously. Like so celebrities, but you had that like balance of like a celebrity has way more money, has, you know, all of this stuff to help make them look a certain way. So
Mhm.
you were able to kind of like, yeah, that's great to like that they look like that. I would like to look like that. But, you know, it's not something that I can probably get. I mean,
Yeah.
I won't have a personal trainer 24 hours, like that kind of thing. Whereas now with like Instagram, like social media,
Facetune,
well, Facetune, but
like
now
that kind of
it's
stuff.
like the fitness influencers. Now it's just regular people.
Yeah.
And they've got like these big asses and like little waists, and you're like, oh my god, like I need to be working harder
Yeah.
because they're working hard and they can look like that.
Yeah.
They're not just like some celebrity with a bunch of money. They don't have anything and they're still able to look that way.
Yeah.
I mean, a lot of it's genetics and like
Yeah.
angles and
Well,
stuff.
also, yeah, angles in the morning before they've eaten,
Right.
the lighting. And you'll see influencers do this. They're like, this is me like at 3 p.m. with just like standing here.
Right.
And this is me again at 8 a.m. with the right light, with the right angles, flexing so that I
Mhm.
can't breathe.
Mhm.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
And but there's something different about like when you looked at a magazine as a kid and you're like, oh, it's been photoshopped versus a video of someone doing like an angle. And like, yeah, you watch another video where they point out that, but your brain doesn't, I
No.
don't like, it doesn't comprehend it. I don't know why. So you're just like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I need to go to the gym more. Like,
Yeah.
I'm a fat loser.
Yeah.
Terrible.
It's
and like,
terrible.
we talk about our self esteem and how we've gotten it to where it is, but like, it would be so hard as a kid.
When I was a kid, I'll just give a little example. I feel like I had the lowest self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't come into my own until I was like, I don't know, like maybe even past university. Yeah, it was like a long time. When I was a kid, I really struggled. I felt like I just wanted to fit in, and I felt like I didn't. I had friends, don't get me wrong. I had
Mm-hmm.
friends. I did so many activities,
Yeah, you were like
sports.
hockey girl.
Yeah, I was always like, I don't know if you guys can tell, I'm a pretty bubbly person. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like I've always been like this, but I've always felt like different,
Right.
which might sound so
And you
silly.
were like, oh, I'm gay. No, I'm just
Yeah.
kidding.
Well, I mean, yeah, figuring out that part, that was pretty tough. But no, I think that my self-esteem was so low. And it was because I did a lot of comparing. I did a lot of
Mhm.
like, why am I not like this? Or why do I not look like this? Or why is it so easy for this person? Or why is that person like that and I'm not? And I feel like
Mhm.
I did a lot of that. And I did a lot of like, okay, well, this person likes this, so I guess I'll like it too. And I did a lot of like following, I would
Right.
say,
Mhm.
trying to fit in. And again, I wasn't some like crazy loser who just like
Yeah,
didn't
like
fit in, but this is just how I felt.
Mhm.
And then finally, when I got older, I decided, okay, I like these certain things, and it's okay if I like them. Like, I don't know, I really enjoy the color pink. Pink is my favorite color, but I also like tattoos, and I also like sports, and like all these things you would think of totally different people when
Right.
you look at them. I like makeup, I like dressing up, and
Mhm.
you know, but I can also be one person and like all of these things.
Right. Okay, I think what you pointed out was really cool. When we were like when we at least were in school, everything sort of had a category. Like everyone was categorized.
Yes.
So there was like the sporty girls,
Yes.
and then there was the girly girls, and then there was like the bad girls, you
Yeah.
know, like and then there was the emo girls.
The
So
nerdy girls.
yeah, so you had to kind of fit
be in
into those
one.
boxes.
And I
So
didn't
you were
fit
like,
into
I'm
any
the
of
sporty
them.
girl, but I also love pink.
So I did, in high school, I did sports, high level.
Mm-hmm.
I was captain of our really shitty hockey team, so that's nothing to brag about. But I did that. I did music. Like I went to band camp.
Oh my God.
I did extra credits
What
for music.
instrument did you play?
The flute. Okay, guys, spoiler alert. In grade 8, I think is when we went to band camp. There were band camp hookups. It wasn't me, but there were band camp hookups. There was like band camp sluts.
Wow.
Yes.
But that wasn't a category you were in.
It wasn't.
Wow.
I was just part of the band.
You were the flute.
I was the flute.
In grade 8, I think we were doing the recorder. How are you
There's
guys
no
having
way.
full? How did you have full bands? We did
did
not.
full.
We didn't have music, and I guess my school was too poor.
Oh,
We didn't have that until high school, and then it was by then you were like,
this is lame.
yeah.
No, we did it all. So yeah, I was, and then I also was into the sciences. Like I did, like all the hard science classes, like chemistry, physics, like all that stuff.
And you're kind of good at math.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I did, like, I feel like maybe that's why I didn't feel like I fit into any box because maybe it's, what did I say? Jack of all trades.
There you go.
Master of none.
Yeah.
We
don't have to say the last part.
Right.
Just a
Just
jack of all trades. Yeah.
But I liked a lot of things. And yeah, I just, now as an adult, I realized I can like a whole bunch of different things that society deems as like contradicting.
Yeah.
And that's okay.
Yeah. I think that's like the journey we all kind of have to go through.
Mm-hmm.
Like I was just a big tomboy for most of my like youth. And then finally was like, I can be a girl. Like I can be girly. And that's okay too. But like that was the box I put myself in for like the longest time.
Mm-hmm.
I just wanted to be like the rough tomboy. Like, I don't know. I wasn't like sporty though, which is so funny that I was a tomboy. I just dressed like a tomboy.
You grew up on like,
why do we
property?
Call it tomboy? Is that a weird thing to call it?
No, that's right.
We like everyone understands that, right? Like that's kind of like, okay. Yeah, like I just wanted to be like
your brother.
My brother. Yeah.
Yeah.
Which that's another thing that like I've thought about, and I'm like, a lot of us like go through that phase of being tomboys, or like, you know, we like emulate the men in our lives. And I think it's because
I wore my brother's clothes, literally.
Yeah, but I think it's because we see that the world is kind of built for them. Like we don't really recognize that, but like the world's kind of built for men. It's easier for men, and you're kind of like, I want it. I want that. You know what I mean?
Very fair point.
Yeah. I've thought about that, and I'm like, that's probably like I was probably seeing it, and like consciously I wasn't like, oh, it's easier for men, I want to be a man, but like like it was a lot of that, like they just had it easier. And then the other option for me was like all these different boxes, like we said. You have to be this, 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 or this. So not saying that men didn't have those boxes, they of course did.
Of course they do.
Yeah, it just seemed like way more like high risk as a girl to like fit into one of those.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like, with women, there's more of a pressure to like be in a box.
Yeah.
So.
And it was a lot of work to do the beauty standards. Tomboy was easy.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm just going to wear basketball shorts and a t-shirt and not brush my hair. That's great.
I feel bad for the girls these days because, again, and I feel bad, honestly, for the parents who are funding these kids.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you finding the money is my question.
Yeah.
But now all these girls, again, you have so much access to things online where these 12-year-olds are looking like 22-year-olds.
Yes.
With makeup and hair. And I'm like, I put glitter in my hair. Remember the slick back glitter with the 2 pieces hanging down? Oh my God. And then in high school, like what? I just put on a little bit of black eyeliner and some mascara, called it a day.
From the drugstore.
Yes.
That was like $5.
Yes.
So I actually came across a TikTok, side note, of a mom. And she was talking about how she was getting sick of fighting with she had 2 daughters. She's like, I was sick of fighting with them over like they wanted this $80 mascara, and I was like, no, you can go get an $8 one from the store. So she ended up giving them, say, like, she just did a number, but say they get $1,000 a month, and that's a big number, but it was just like for easy. And she's like, and they manage it. She's like, the only thing I buy is the food in the house, and all the other things they have to manage with their own money. And she's like, it taught them how to manage their money. And it took me out of this constant fight with them.
That's
because
smart.
She's like, it's so hard. They're inundated with consumerism. They're inundated online, TikTok shop, all that stuff, being like, buy this. And they're just like constantly wanting to buy the next thing. And like, we had that as kids. I remember being like, I need Vans shoes.
Yeah. Or like, remember when the iPod came out? Oh,
Oh,
God.
yeah. I got the iPod video and I thought I was the
Holy,
coolest. I could
I had
put
the
movies on
shuffle.
it. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. But you probably got them. Like, I had to wait for, like, I never got the things when they first were big. I always got them
No.
when they were, like, fading.
Yeah.
But yeah. I do remember, like, there was things that, like, you had to have, like, remember mod robes? Those pants? Mod robe
Oh,
pants?
this sounds familiar.
They have, like, the little buckle, like, the little, like, it's kind of like a backpack buckle on the front.
Yeah.
And, like, I remember mine were baby blue and they're, like, fuzzy. You just sweated buckets in them, but those were, like, the pants
Yes,
you
I
needed.
remember. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
yeah.
Or like at my school, there was like, I don't know, what was it, like the juicy pants or but
Yeah.
the jeans, like the
No, the juicy two-piece, like, matching tracksuit?
that.
Yes.
But there was also like these jeans with like these like jewels on the butt.
Oh, those were big.
I don't know. And they were so low rise. And guys, my body is not meant for low rise.
No.
And me trying to fit into this box of being like a cool girl wearing these low rise damn jeans with my hips and ass. Literally not
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
So
We tried.
We tried.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Did we get off topic? I think we did.
We did a little bit. So that's on societal standards. I think that plays into body image too.
Yeah.
Because we are like
body image was crazy as a kid.
Yeah. We are now especially like bombarded with images and videos and everything everywhere you see is like something to compare yourself to.
I think the biggest thing for me body image wise or just like being comfortable in my body type was realizing I can't look at like celebrities or other people who have different body types as me and think I'll look like them in that outfit, like shopping online and stuff, like with a larger chest, a baggier shirt looks really cool on like someone with a smaller chest, like, and they're thin. On me, I look like I'm wearing a parachute.
Yeah.
And then I'm always like mad that it doesn't do the look that I'm going for. And it's like, okay, well, I need to look at people who have my body type. And then you stop hating your body so much because then you're being kind to it and you're giving it the clothes that like actually look good on it.
Yes.
We kind of covered this in our episode on what was it? Probably the color analysis.
I think so.
Yeah, but that was like a huge thing for my body image. Like you said, trying to fit into those low-rise jeans as a kid. You're expecting to like look like everyone else who wears them, but like your body isn't made for that.
Yeah.
So,
and then as soon as you start putting on things that look good on you, you feel good.
Yeah.
Increase self-esteem.
There you go, guys.
Career pressure as well. So whatever your career is, whether that's like you're trying to get into a certain career or in the career you have, I feel like that can relate to like for men and women, to higher or lower self-esteem that can affect it.
Can we talk a little bit about like imposter syndrome at
Yeah.
work? Okay. I have a lot to say about this, but I'll keep it short. Imposter syndrome is huge. I think my theory is that everyone has it, but not everyone talks about it. So then it kind of makes it worse because you're like, oh my God, everyone in this room is so secure and knows what they're doing. And I'm the one out that like has no idea what I'm doing. And I'm like floundering. Yeah. But I think everyone kind of has a little bit of it. And a lot of people are faking it till they make it. But I did notice, so in my previous job, I was in like a female dominated job. And I was so confident in what I was doing. And I think a lot of it, I was just faking it till I make it. Yeah. But I was more confident in it. And this must be what it's like to be a man because you know what I mean though? Yes. But like it was all women around me mostly. And like they were like the women who'd been there longer, I could look up to them and they looked confident and it just made me confident. And like they were saying things in meetings and I was like, yeah. And I would like also speak up in meetings because I was like, my voice is important. And like I was on a high in that job because I just felt like I was so good at what I was doing and I was learning better. Like, you know, like I just felt like I was like taking things in better because I was just like in a different kind of mindset. And then I switched to the male dominated field I'm in now. Right. And I have watched over the years my confidence slip.
Interesting.
And I think it's because I don't see as many women in higher positions to kind of look at as mentors. and see them in like being confident in the role. and also, did I say A? B, because I don't think I have a B, but like it's different because you watch like your male coworkers get all the praise
Right.
for their skill set that they bring, and then I bring a different skill set and it doesn't get praised the same because there's no women up top praising it.
Right.
It's all men and they're only looking at.
Yeah.
So it's interesting. And so I didn't have imposter syndrome until later in my life when I came into this career. And now I'm kind of struggling with it.
That's
and
so interesting.
Finding my self-esteem in this job.
Yeah.
Crazy.
That's interesting. I feel like I also experience a little bit of imposter syndrome, but with everybody. I feel like I'm just, I don't know. I feel like
Man,
in any
woman,
job,
dog,
yeah,
you're getting imposter syndrome.
exactly.
Okay.
But I feel like, yes, I know a lot, but I feel like I look at everybody else and I'm like, they know everything. I know nothing.
Right.
Or like I make a stupid mistake and I'm like, I'm so stupid.
Right.
And I'm like, I don't.
No one's ever made this mistake before.
Nobody. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like I just experience that because I look around and I see other people doing whatever they're doing. And I'm like, oh, they're so much better.
Right.
But everybody.
I know. Yeah. That's interesting.
Tell us, do you guys feel this way?
Yeah. I don't know. And I want to point out, like, when I first got into this job, I had my coworkers who were men training me.
Right.
And I felt like, wow, they've only been on a few years and they know everything.
Right.
And like, whew, can't wait till I know everything. And like, I'm asking them questions and blah, blah, blah. And then I'm in their position a few years later and I'm training people and I'm like, I know nothing. Right. What am I doing? And then the person I'm training is asking me the same questions I was asking. And I'm like, wait, they were going off, disappearing, then coming back with the answers. They were going and asking other people. You know what I mean?
God.
And I'm like,
fake it till you make it.
Because I found myself doing it. And I was like, wait a second. And so it's just interesting. Then it kind of flipped for me. And then I was actually more open with the people I was training, being like, you know what? I don't know, but let's find out together.
Yeah.
And I think that instills confidence in people.
Yeah.
Because they're not sitting there being like, oh, they just know and I'm dumb. They're saying, oh, they don't know. And they're like honest about it and they're going to find out the answer. They're not just going to pretend they know the answer.
Right.
Which is worse. Like someone who's just like, I know everything and I'm just going to go with this idea that's popped in my head and it's wrong.
Yeah.
So there's a balance. And I think imposter syndrome is good in that sense because it kind of checks you a bit.
Yeah. I do think curiosity and like wanting to learn is really important when it comes to the workplace, because I feel like if you feel like you know everything about everything, I don't know, like would that not make you like a little bit stagnant?
Right. Totally. But if I go back to like my other job where I was confident, I didn't think I knew everything and I was still wanting to learn and like soak everything up like a sponge, but I was just in like a better mindset to do that.
Yeah.
Whereas like in this job when I got on, I was kind of embarrassed to ask questions because I was like, I feel like I should know this and I feel dumb.
But if you don't know, you don't know.
I know. But then like a year would go by and I'm like, well, I definitely can't ask now.
Right.
I could have asked when I was a month on.
Yeah.
But now it's like, wow, she's stupid.
Oh.
So then you're just
my God, that feeling is so real though.
Yeah.
Oh. And I feel like I'll bring up, we all know the rugby player Ilona. She's phenomenal.
American US
US rugby player. She is amazing. And so she did an interview where a lady asked her, how do you handle your imposter syndrome? And she was like, I don't have that. She was like, I worked hard for where I am and I deserve to be here. And I know that. And I was like, fuck to the yeah, girl. And I
wish.
I know. And I think a lot of times too, though, maybe as women, maybe we like give ourselves imposter syndrome more than we should, because we feel like maybe our self-esteem is lower. We feel like we don't deserve to like feel better. I don't know. It's just a thought.
I think so. I could see that.
Yeah.
You know what that makes me think of, and it's not imposter syndrome, but the scene in Mean Girls when they're all in the mirror and they're like, oh my God, I hate my nose. And oh my God. Like, and then Katie is sitting there being like,
what the fuck?
And then she's like, oh, I have to say something. And then she goes, yeah, like I have bad breath. Right?
Yeah.
But I remember that, like, even as a girl, like, people would be saying, oh, I hate my arms. And then I'd have to be like, oh, I hate my freckles. And then I made that a thing. I never
And your
hated my
freckles
freckles.
are amazing.
But I never actually hated them.
Yeah.
But it was just like something that stood out that I could say that I hated.
And other people always said, I hate my freckles.
Yes, so many people hated their freckles. So I was like, yeah, me too.
What if we just went around as, like, we taught our girls to go around and be like, I love this about myself. Like, it's not full of yourself.
No.
People giving themselves compliments or being like, oh, I love this about myself. This is great about me. We tell people that's like being full of yourself. And like,
Right.
why are we allowing people to like be smaller than they are?
Yeah, I don't know. It keeps us down. And like, look at all the work we've had to do over years to get us back to like where we are now, which isn't even, but then we're not even at tens in our self-esteem. We're still.
And then I still have days like one of my days at work this week, I had to try on everything in my closet and was nearly late leaving because I just couldn't figure it out.
Right.
Not because of my colors, guys. It was just because of my body. And I hated it that night.
Right.
And I don't know why. There was no reason for it.
Right.
No reason.
Ugh.
Anyway, relationship dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
So whether that's romantic, family, friendships, that kind of stuff can have an impact on your self-esteem. So like how like people treat you.
Right. So that would be like childhood, growing up.
Yeah.
What your relationship dynamic is.
Yeah.
My mom.
Or like what you see.
Yeah. My mom, she gassed me up all the time.
I love that.
Yeah. So she probably made me feel way more confident than I maybe would have as a kid. And like looking back, like, so at the time I was like, oh, my mom's so confident. You know what I mean? Like this is kind of like in the job I had that was female dominant. Like I saw my mom, she would gas me up, and then that would make me think, well, if she loves that about me, she loves that about herself. You know what I mean? And like, wow, like, so that was really amazing. And then I think like when you get older, you always kind of reflect back and, you know, like our parents are human, and I don't think my mom was as confident as I had perceived.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like everyone has like their, you know, lack of confidence in certain things. But yeah, like as a kid, yeah, my mom like gassed me. Like if anyone was mean to me, she'd be like, oh, it's just because like you're too cool or you're too pretty or whatever, right? Like, you know, they're bullying you because of this, right?
Yeah.
And then I'd be like, yeah, you're right.
Yeah. I'm great.
But I wouldn't take that back to school and be like, oh, you just hate me because I'm beautiful. Well, we don't like you either. But but like,
are you like in love with me or something?
But I'd have it in the back of my head, you know? Like it was kind of like a thing I had in my back pocket. Like, oh, okay, you're mad because, you know, I'm really good at this, which what was I good at? I don't know. But,
okay, but
you know what I mean?
Having that mindset, honestly, as a kid too, kids are ferocious.
Oh, they're so mean.
Yeah. And I feel like it's getting worse now.
Yeah.
Like they were bad when we were kids, but I feel like kids now are more terrible.
Yeah. Well, at least when we were kids, when we went home, we could get away from it.
Yeah. Oh,
now you can't get away from it now as a kid.
Yeah.
So
I agree. I would say comparison to others as well is just like as a last note of things that can
like of dynamics with relationships.
Just like comparing yourself to others in general.
Oh, okay.
Can really impact self-esteem, I would say.
Right.
But like that's just human nature. We compare ourselves to everybody.
Yeah, I think it's just like normal to do it, and you just got to like watch yourself. And I think as you age, you kind of are able to catch it more frequently. Like, hey, no, I'm comparing myself. Like that's silly.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't really talk about relationships though, like romantic ones, and how they can drag you the fuck down.
Oh yes.
So that's like, I think that would be like a big one that people face like after a relationship, when you have to pick yourself back up and like build your self-esteem back up. That's a huge one. Are we going to talk about how we can build self-esteem?
Yeah.
Am I skipping ahead? Because I was like, well, let's talk about that.
I want to talk about something that's kind of funny, kind of not. Signs of low self-esteem.
Okay. Hilarious.
Well, it's not funny.
Tell me more.
But it's funny because I went through these and I was like, because again, I think I have pretty good self-esteem. I rated myself a 7.
Oh no, is this going to change my number?
Like, I'm not so sure.
Okay. Okay, great.
Okay, guys.
Hit us.
Get out your check box, your pen, and we can check off some things together.
Okay, so this is signs you have low
signs of low self-esteem.
Okay. I'm going to have none of these. Continue.
So, self-deprecating behavior, criticizing oneself or minimizing accomplishments.
Oh, no.
Why are we literally taught to do that as a society? To be like, not make yourself too big. Like I already said.
I feel like I do that all the time to make myself like relatable and easy to be around.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I don't think I'm great. Like I'm a stupid bitch.
Oh, I'm just okay. No. What? Why are we doing this?
That's low self-esteem, Emma.
It's a sign of low self-esteem.
Oh, no. That puts me down to a 7. Okay, continue.
Okay, next. Difficulty making decisions, struggling to make choices due to fear of failure or self-doubt. Let me tell you, this is just a stupid example, but a real example. I sometimes don't deadlift for a while because I'm scared.
Scared of what?
I'm scared of like not doing a good job. I'm scared of people seeing me do it in the gym and like judging me.
Oh, no.
Yeah. And like,
do you need me to come and yell at people
I'm
for
pretty
you?
like strong. Like I feel like people would look at me as like a 5'2" girly and be like, oh damn. Like
she can slang that
It's been a while, but like this week I finally I deadlifted.
Mm-hmm. Did the world end? Or
I did 205. Which is good.
I think that's a lot.
It is a lot.
Yeah.
For a couple sets. And yeah.
So I think we needed to change. Hold on. Let's pause here for a second. You said I did 205.
Right.
Question mark. Say it again.
Right. I did 205.
There you go.
And guys, we know I've been away for a little bit. So exercising has been getting back into it. I lost a little bit of strength, but I can do 225, which is
right.
2 wheels. I'd call that.
We call those
wheels.
We call those wheels.
We call those wheels.
Cool.
Yeah.
I can do 2 wheels.
Shannon could do a full wheel on the bench press.
I sure can.
Yeah, you can.
Is that okay? That's what a wheel is.
Yeah. We could call them plates too. Plates.
Okay, yeah.
But so that's an example for me of like, I don't do it. And it's specifically deadlifts because I am scared of like failing in front of people or people looking at me and being like, she's a weak bitch or like, I don't know.
Okay, so I have that.
Self-doubt.
I have that. I refused. I have not written my book in like well over a year because I am scared of failing.
Yeah, I would say that's part of that.
Okay, well, fuck, that puts me down to 6.
Well, you don't have to take a point away for each one. Okay.
6.5.
Excessive worry and anxiety. Feeling overwhelmed by negative thoughts and worries about one's self-worth. I feel like I experience this all the time.
Oh.
No, because
I was like, nah, not me.
Not me.
I have anxiety, but like not.
I feel like I don't know. Maybe this stems from me being a kid trying to fit in everywhere.
Okay.
But I feel like a lot of times I'm just like, oh, I'm so stupid for saying that. Or like, oh. I shouldn't have.
Wait,
I don't know.
Read it again. Read it again.
Excessive worry and anxiety, feeling overwhelmed by negative thoughts and worries about one's self-worth. Okay. So I'm like, or like, I don't deserve this.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway.
I'm going to give myself back a point. I'm back to 7.
Okay.
I don't have that.
Plus.
But you have I feel like there should be like a normal amount though. Like everyone kind of has that.
Right.
But like excessively, I could see that impacting your self-esteem.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like for me, it's more situational. Like sometimes I'm like, nah, I'm good. And then sometimes I'm like, ugh. Well,
sometimes I do something super embarrassing and I stress about it for a couple days, but then I'm over it.
Yeah. But like me feeling anxiety to go to the gym because I'm worried about like
people perceiving
failing or people perceiving me that's dumb.
It's not dumb, but yeah.
Thank you. Okay. Oh, that would be criticizing oneself. Oopsie. Fuck.
The amount of times I call myself a stupid bitch throughout a day.
Shannon talks to herself, guys, if you didn't know this.
Oh, yeah.
All the time.
Yeah. Because yours is all inside.
I am so silent.
I know, but like, so your thoughts are all inside. You don't say them out loud.
No, I don't say them out loud.
Okay, well, that's probably good because I must be manifesting things when I say them out loud.
Your neighbors probably think you're cray-cray. They probably think 2 people are living here.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one, poor self-care. Neglecting personal needs or engaging in unhealthy behaviors.
Ooh, that's vague. I was going to say like, yeah, I take care of myself, but no. Like I am a toddler and refuse to go to bed, even though I'm like, I need sleep tonight. I'll be like, nope, I'm staying up. So that could be that.
That could be that.
Because like that's tied to self-worth. Like, do you deserve 8 hours of sleep? No.
Right.
because then you'll perform better at work tomorrow, and you're not allowed to do that.
Or like engaging in unhealthy behavior. So I kind of, the poor self-care and like self-deprecating stuff or like the self-sabotage, I kind of all relate to each other.
Mhm.
So like for me, for example, again, I'm like on the path of feeling good and then I go and eat 4 chocolate bars.
Right. And then you spiral a little bit
And
over
then
it
I
and you're like, I
spiral.
can't believe I did that.
Yeah. And I'm like, I don't deserve anything. And I don't deserve to look
Yikes.
how I'm looking. I don't deserve to have these results that I've had.
Right.
Do you know?
Yikes.
Yeah.
Guess we're down to like 5 now.
Okay. Yeah. I stopped counting. Okay. Seeking external validation. Reliance on external validation for self-worth.
I'd like to think I don't really need that.
But it feels good when you get it.
Oh, yeah. Like, I don't mind getting it. I mean, I like it from friends and family, but I like from strangers and stuff, I don't really need. Like, I guess I'm nitpicking.
When I go to work and I'm getting compliments about my sweater or something.
But it says seeking. Yes. It says seeking.
Oh, you're right. Seeking.
So like if you're going up, you're like, hey, do you guys like my new sweater? Hey, do you like that? Like, I feel like that would be
gotcha.
Like you're looking for it because you need it.
Yeah.
As opposed to, oh, it's nice that you're getting it.
I feel like, so this is probably a bad thing, but I feel like I need validation in a relationship.
Oh, yeah. That's why you had like 100 dates that you canceled. It was just the validation of getting it. And then you're like, I don't need it anymore.
Maybe. I don't know.
But I think it's healthy in a relationship to get validation.
Right.
Like, we're not saying that that's a low self-esteem thing.
Yeah. But then a reliance on it.
Oh, the word is reliance.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't think.
Yeah. I think we're good on that.
I think we're good. Okay.
High five.
All right. High five. Okay. The last one. Difficulty setting boundaries, allowing others to take advantage or disrespecting one's own needs.
All right, put me at a 0.
But this goes back to what we talked about at the very beginning, self-worth and self-esteem.
Yes.
How you were saying that you put yourself in the, or allow these things to happen, right?
Mm-hmm.
That could be a sign of low self-esteem.
Yes. Boundaries are not my friend. They're my friend. I don't know them. They're a long distance friend. Right. I hardly see them.
Right. We don't even write anymore.
No. Pen pal? No. Yeah. I'm sorry. What was the second part? You said boundaries and...
Yeah. So allowing others to take advantage.
Yeah.
And then disrespecting one's own needs.
Yeah. I do that a lot.
I disrespect my own needs.
Mm-hmm.
I will put others first 10 out of 10 times.
I wonder if that's the water signs in us.
It could be.
I was talking to my girlfriend. She's also a Cancer.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like this meme or whatever. And it was like, Cancer is just like, give. And I was like, why are we like this? And she's like, I don't know. She's like, I'll be zapped out and I'll be like, here's some more love. Take it. And she's like, I just take out a love loan. And, and I was like, yeah, like, why do we do that to ourselves? Yeah. Like, we need better boundaries around like how much we give and like our energy to people.
I find that even at work, like obviously the things that you have to do just like pile up.
Yeah.
And it's like you still take on more to do that. And then you let your stuff pile up. And like, it's not like you're taking on other people's work, but it's like you're just taking on probably too much.
Well, you have that work and then you have the stress knowing that you have the other work sitting behind you that you're avoiding.
Yeah. Oh, God. And we know worse. I love avoiding. That's one of my favorites.
And you're disrespecting yourself.
Yeah.
So stop it.
So when I read these things, I'm not saying I have super low self-esteem.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm probably like a 6 or 7.
Mm-hmm.
But I definitely see places in my life where I do these things where like, why? Yeah. Why am I embarrassed to deadlift? It's so stupid.
And like with stuff like that, no one's really watching you.
Nobody's watching.
No one cares.
Not a single person.
Yeah.
Yep. Nobody.
Yeah. Like when I was benching my like wheel, you said?
Yes.
Like a wheel of cheese? Anyways, when I was benching, my coach, he was like making noises. He was like, oh, I'm just trying to draw attention to like how much you're doing. And like literally no one was looking.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like no one cares.
We care about ourselves.
Yeah.
is what that is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
if anything, they're just comparing themselves to you. Like they're like, oh shit, she's
yeah,
deadlifting so much.
right.
Like,
But why are we comparing ourselves to
right.
other people?
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, so I
Damn.
thought that was really interesting to look at those.
Would you re-rate your number, or you're still at a 7? You said 6 or 7.
I would say like 6 or 7. I feel like I have some underlying things that I could work on to improve my self-esteem, to
Yeah.
improve my behavior or like my actions or whatever.
And I think too, it's going to make you more conscious of it. Like, especially for me, like my self-depreciating jokes. Yeah, like I probably don't have to do that as much.
Yeah.
To be likable and relatable, I don't need to tear myself down.
And if we do a good thing, celebrate that. Hey, I did this. I'm really proud of this.
Yeah.
I'm really excited.
I
people should
deadlifted 205, baby.
And you should, people in your life should be supporting you and being excited with you.
Yeah.
Not being like, well, you don't have to say it so loud. I'm going to say it louder, actually.
And but that is the thing. Like people, like, okay, in the news, like crime sells, like bad things sells.
Good things
People don't really love the happy stories. And then, you know, you find that with like acquaintances or like not so close friends, when you're telling them something good, like you can just see them being like, yeah, whatever. But then if you come to them and tell them something bad, they're locked in, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, I think like sharing your good stuff with people who are going to be excited for you.
Yeah.
There's usually a smaller group of people, but your cheerleaders, yeah.
Yeah. And I think we can all work on making sure that we're being cheerleaders for everybody in our lives.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw this, not to bring it back to TikTok, but I saw this girl on TikTok. I've seen her a couple of times now. And I initially didn't like her intro. I don't love her intro still. But it's essentially she's like, come with me, like a life in my day as someone who definitely does more than you.
Oh.
Which, like, I didn't love that. But then she's like, I do this, like she goes to the gym, she like does all this stuff, blah, 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 whatever.
Okay.
And like, so I don't like the intro, but then I'm looking at her stuff and I'm like, you know what? Fucking you go, girl. Because I'm like, you are fitting all of this in. And that is hard. I don't like the whole like putting
I'm
others
better than
down.
You. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't like that part. But I'm down with the whole like, you know what? I'm taking it as like she's proud of what she's doing and she's like happy to just like fit everything in and makes that effort.
Right.
Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that's the problem. So we automatically were like, ooh, that's braggy, and braggy is bad.
Yeah.
But then we're saying we need to brag more. So it's interesting. And then there's a dynamic between men and women, and like men can really talk about their achievements.
Yes.
And it doesn't come off too braggy, but when a woman does it, it's really braggy and it's gross.
Yeah.
Not to make it a gender thing, but like I'm bringing it back to like if you're in a male dominated workforce, it's, you know, they don't seem icked out when a man is talking about all of his great things that he's done. But then when a woman does it, it's like, yeah. Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So go that girl on TikTok. Yeah.
Absolutely. You
Rock
go, girl.
Mm-hmm.
Do your thing. So let's talk about now building self-esteem.
Okay,
let's get to the good stuff.
Yeah,
okay? Finally. Oh my God, this has been terrible. Okay, so let's start with challenge negative thoughts. Identify and challenge negative thoughts and beliefs about oneself. Heck yes.
Okay, challenge negative thoughts. So when I call myself a stupid bitch, because I don't have thoughts, I say them out loud. I could say silly bitch.
Why don't you say smart, generous person?
Yeah. But like if I forget something and I'm like, oh, you stupid bitch.
Oh,
so instead
I'm just
I'd be like,
forgetful in this moment.
Oh, you silly girl.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just changing the language a bit.
You little goose.
And then eventually maybe I won't have that reaction to say, you silly girl. It'll just be like, oh,
oopsie. I forgot. I'll give an example for me. So like when I literally couldn't get dressed this week.
Yeah.
Instead of thinking I'm so chunky and ugly, which is what I thought,
right.
I'm like, guys, I'm like the skinniest I've been in a long time.
Yeah.
And by skinny, okay, it's not about being skinny. I really just want to be like jacked and fit. But I am like the fittest I've been in a long time.
Mm-hmm.
And here I go being like, I'm so fat and ugly.
Yeah.
I'm not.
Mm-hmm.
Why do I talk to myself that way? I should be like, you know what?
You would never say that to me.
Never.
Yeah.
And I would scream at you if you said that about yourself.
Right.
So next time I should say, you know what? These clothes aren't fitting me right now.
Yeah.
And they're not making me feel good. So I'm going to pick something that just makes me feel good.
So I'm going to go to work naked.
Yeah. My birthday suit. But it's the clothes' fault. It's not mine.
Yeah.
There's an example.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. Focus on strengths. Recognize and appreciate personal strengths and accomplishments. We've been saying this the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So bringing that to the book I'm writing,
Mm-hmm.
I could be like, you've written a really good chapter.
Yep.
Like, that's really good.
Yeah.
And that's more than what you had last year. You know what I mean? Like, kind of just focusing on like the little,
or even like bring it back to like, I have this amazing idea that I'm going to put on
This
paper.
is a great idea and people will want to read it.
People will want to read it.
Yeah.
I'll tell you one thing for free. I want to read it.
I know.
I really do.
I just want our book club to read it.
Yeah. Oh my God.
If anything, just write it for the book club.
Write it for the book club.
Yeah.
Oh, we would be so proud. We'd be so proud. That'd be amazing.
Yeah.
So an example for me for this is, so last week, I think it was, I had my period.
Okay.
This episode
I remember
is
this.
TMI.
I remember this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So I had my period and I go to the gym. Literally the week before or like the day before, 2 days before, I had gone and lifted like a maniac. I was a monster in the gym. You couldn't stop me. It was amazing.
You're just walking up to people lifting their weight.
Exactly. I was like, I got this for you. Let me help. And then I carried my car home, you know?
Make me choke on my water.
So then I got my period and I went to the gym and I was on like maybe like day 2 of my period or something. And I go to do a leg day and I go to start with squats. And so I started with, I just put one plate on. So 135, that's like my usual like warm up.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this is heavy, but it's okay. It's just a warm up. I'm like, all good. All good. And then I go to put a 25 on, which is 185 pounds, which is like a normal, like it's like I can do sets of 10 for this, no problem. Holy shit, did I barely get 5 or 6 reps.
Oh.
And I was like, whoa, this is fucking hard.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought to myself, and I didn't want to be a little bitch and like reduce the weight, but I literally had to.
Right.
And so I did. And I was like, I turned around my frame of mind because usually I'd be pissy pants about it and I'd be like, you're a little bitch, you're so weak,
you might as well just leave the gym.
You might as well just leave, like you don't deserve anything. And so I switched my frame of mind, and I was like, you know what, my 100% today looks different, and that's okay. And I knew it was because of my period.
Yeah.
And so you know what, I lowered the weight. I switched the 25 for a 10 and I did sets of it and I worked my ass off.
Right.
And then everything I did after that, I did what my max was, which is less than normal, and that's okay. But I worked to what my max was that day and I had an amazing workout.
Good.
Yes.
Yay.
It was so good. So I think just like
you, like maybe a year ago would have been different. I remember saying to you, you're on your period.
Yeah.
Chill out. It's going to be harder.
Yeah.
And you're like, no, I benched this much or I whatever.
Yeah. And so I focused on what I could do that day and appreciated my body for its strength that day. So I feel like that relates to that. Yeah, thank you. Okay, next, practice self-compassion. Treat oneself with kindness and understanding, especially during times of struggle.
Shannon, you're not a stupid bitch.
You're not a stupid bitch.
I don't know. Yeah, okay. I don't think I have an example for that.
I think that's just, it's kind of self-explanatory. It's like, don't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
Like, just, it's okay to be like upset about something, but we don't have to like get into a full depression mode about it.
No.
Right? Like, give us, right? Validate me. Give ourselves a little bit of grace, I would say.
Yeah.
Next is set realistic goals. Break down large goals into smaller achievable steps to build confidence.
Okay.
I like that.
We'll bring it back to the book.
Yeah.
I'm not writing a whole novel in one day. I'm writing a couple sentences or a paragraph.
Yes.
Chapter, etc.
Or an outline.
Yes. Outline of the chapter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
I would break this down because I get stuck a lot. And I feel like, I don't know if this is like to do with self-confidence, but like, I don't know. I just get stuck and then I feel like I can't do anything.
Do you mean like when we get stuck on stair purgatory, or do you mean like stuck in life?
Ooh, I feel like both.
Okay.
Oh gosh, I didn't even think about
stair
getting
purgatory
stuck in
is
life.
where we would like get stuck on our phone on the stairs in our old house. and like you have stuff to do, but you're just like stuck.
Yeah. Okay. I think relating to self-confidence wise, like feeling stuck in life.
Okay.
Like, what can I do today?
Right.
Right. And life could be, for example, Shannon just moved out and I have, you know what I mean? Like, part of what I want to do is like decorate and do this stuff. I don't have the confidence to like, I don't know what I like. You know what I mean?
Yes.
I have trouble like making these decisions. I just don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like that really holds me back. And I feel like I just have a total lack of self-confidence in that thing,
Right.
that type of thing. So I feel like breaking it down and being like, okay, I can do this, put this one piece of art here where you like it.
Mm-hmm.
Or just like really, really small.
Right.
Small steps.
Love.
Right? Like
And
that
you did
painting.
do that.
I put a painting over the toilet.
I love that.
And it looks great.
I'm so excited.
I should have taken a picture for you.
You went, because I said you need picture wire to hang it. You went and got picture wire.
I did.
And you put it on and you hung it.
Put it up.
All by yourself.
All by myself.
Love it.
Look at me.
Mm-hmm.
Look at me. Next is seek support. Connect with supportive friends, family, or a therapist for encouragement and guidance.
You just need me and Emma.
That's it. We're your girlies. We're your support system.
Just look for your life partner that is your best friend, and they can gas you up.
Honestly, you guys need, if you don't have a life partner best friend, you're missing out.
Yeah.
You need to find one ASAP.
ASAP.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or find your close friend that has potential to be a life partner and make them your life partner.
Side note, I ran into your girlfriend the other day and she's like, oh, I heard you guys went grocery shopping the other day.
Yeah.
And she's like, you guys just need to keep doing things like that.
Of
Like,
course we
keep doing
do.
life partner things. And I was like, yes, we'll be life partners until you guys get married. And she was like, no, you guys will still be life partners.
will.
And I was like, oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Got the blessing.
Always. Always life partners. But it's true. Having a good support system and feeling like you can talk to them about stuff.
And feel like supported and have like a cheerleader in them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go you for all of your accomplishments.
Yay.
And we can't speak highly enough about therapy. I think we've beat that to death with all of our examples.
If you have a Leo in your life, they're really good cheerleaders.
Yeah.
Yeah. Find them.
Oh, true.
Yes.
Anyways.
I
like it. Find the sign that works best for you.
Yeah.
Engage in activities, participate in hobbies, activities, or volunteer work.
Oh my God.
that bring joy and a sense of accomplishment.
Totally. Because when you're doing something that you enjoy, your self-esteem and confidence goes up.
Yes.
Any of my little activities that I like to do, I'm like, oh, I'm so good at this. And like, I'm amazing. You know, like you're just like, I'm just so cool.
And like, no, but it's true. Or even like you joined baseball.
Okay. That's not self-esteem though.
No?
No, I was terrible at baseball.
But you had like such confidence to do it.
I did. Yeah.
Did it help raise your confidence knowing that you could go into that like scary thing? And
oh, totally. Like doing new things. Yeah. I hate doing new things on my own and I keep forcing myself to do them throughout the year. And yeah, no, it is good. It definitely builds self-confidence in that way. I am a social person though, so I can usually like deal with any sort of social situation.
Yes.
However, performance, I'm so bad at sports. So that brought me down a bit. But you know, just because I felt like I was laying down the team a little bit. Like, I'm like, yeah, I show up every week, but
you know what? You prevent a forfeit. That's what you do.
Yeah, exactly. You guys are still going to lose because of me, but we're not forfeiting.
I like that though. Doing things that feel good for you.
Yeah, like when you go and work out, you are like confident in there. Like, as I'll go with you and you're like training me.
Yeah. I always
when
feel
you go
good.
do sports, you always feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I love
Find
that
your
one.
thing.
Celebrate success, acknowledge and celebrate both small and large achievements. I feel like we already talked about that.
Yeah.
Yep. And then develop a growth mindset. View challenges as opportunities for learning and growth rather than failures.
I think that that's what got me through any of my trainings and any of my jobs.
Yeah.
Like kind of laughing at yourself a bit, like when you aren't good at something, like, hey, I'm in training. Right. Like, I'm not expected to be amazing at everything.
Yeah.
It's okay that I kind of sucked at that. I'll do it again.
Yeah.
And for me, when I would do it again, I would be better at it or like actually accomplish it, instead of if I was in the mindset of like, you suck, like blah, 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 and then you go in and you get down on yourself and then you just keep making the mistake over and over again.
Yeah.
So
I agree.
that one's big.
Yeah. I think, just allowing yourself, like people learn through making mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
You can learn through other people's mistakes as well.
Yeah.
And if you look at like all the successful people, they're always like, I failed a million times.
Totally.
Like just because you don't get that job on the first try, or just because you don't, I don't know, hit that lift the first time doesn't mean you're not going to later.
Yeah.
We just have something to work on.
Yeah. Like, everyone who's like Stephen King, I think he sent his like story to like 40, 50 different publishers and they all said no to him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like they kept going.
Yeah.
If he did it once and was like, oh I'm just not going to be a writer.
Yeah, exactly.
We wouldn't have a lot of cool like books and movies now. So
yeah. And I think having that growth mindset is like, okay, maybe it didn't work this time, or like, what can I do to improve this to make it better? And I think that just overall makes you more positive, because then you're not like talking shit about yourself.
Yeah. And I think growth mindset, if we look at you when you went down in weight because that was your max for the day, doing that probably helped you continue gaining or maintaining your muscles, as opposed to if you just gave up and left the gym.
Yes.
So
100%.
Even when it's like a shit day and you're still showing up and doing the little things, it's still going towards it.
Yeah.
It's still time invested in the skill. So
I agree.
Wicked. Is there any more?
No, that was it.
God, we're good. I think my self-esteem's back up to 9.
I think so. You know what? I just didn't realize. I always think like, oh, self-esteem, like, oh, I'm like a confident person in like, just, I have confidence.
Right.
I don't really always think about it as like, oh, shoot, like all of these things go into it. And there are little things that I do or say or feel that like, it's just like underlying stuff, you know, that comes out.
Yeah.
I don't know if I said that weird, but
yeah, I think self-esteem is sort of like a skill that you have to continuously work at and maintain.
Practice.
So say say I'm an 8. Like I said, I was an 8 self-esteem. I'm not just going to have that for the rest of my life if I just stop doing any of those things that we talked about that help build self-esteem.
Yeah.
It's going to fluctuate, and it's something that you're going to have to like maintain forever.
And I think it's important to practice it like out in the world, because again, how easy is it to get into a group of girls like the Mean Girls and like have to say you have bad breath, but you're like, I don't have bad breath. But for real,
I'm actually really great.
Or even encouraging those people to be like, no, let's turn this around.
Yeah.
Catherine does that to me all the time, honestly.
Aww.
She makes me like turn stuff around all the time because I clearly am like super negative about myself.
Right. Yeah.
So like I'll go up to her in an outfit and be like, how stupid does this look? And she's like, say it again.
Does this look good?
Yeah. So
yeah.
I think
language is a huge thing.
Yeah.
I think we're going to wrap it up, but like the language you use holds a lot of weight, and just shifting language can really change your mindset on anything.
Yeah.
So
that's our challenge to you guys this week.
Yeah.
Is change your language in like at least one thing this week.
Yeah.
Something that you're thinking or saying.
Yeah.
If you've already said it, eat it back up and spit out something else that's positive.
Yeah. Challenge some thoughts that you're having. And find maybe something to celebrate about yourself. Yeah. Accomplishment, whatever it may be.
And celebrate it. Give yourself a pat on the back.
Yeah. Are we Mel Robbins now? We're just like giving people like homework and stuff.
I love that. You know what? You guys have homework. We'll follow up with you next week.
So did we solve self-esteem?
I think we did. I think we solved it. A lot of factors go into it, and there's a lot of things that I'm sure we can all work on to improve it. It's like a never ending, not a challenge, but like it's just we should all be working on it because we all want to feel good.
Probably.
So
we just have to take care of it.
Yeah.
Nurture it.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, until next time, problem solved. Bye, guys.
Bye.